Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Ambition for Breakfast, where we bring you food for thought.
Inspiration for your soul.
On today's episode, we have the amazing Cheryl Lindberg. She is the current head of consumer engagement at REN Clean Skincare. And she also has such extensive experience working with influencers as the former director of social media influencer relations at Too Faced.
Yes, she's a longtime friend of our brand and she's been there since day one. And we're just so excited for you guys to meet her and listen to her amazing and inspiring story. And she's just been so great to our team for so many years. And we're so thrilled to have her a part of Ambition for Breakfast.
Yeah, we talk about the future of where she sees the beauty industry going, her tips and tricks and recommendations for what skincare we should be using, because she is such an expert and so knowledgeable. We talk about anti-aging products and what it means to age gracefully. And we just loved having her every minute of it.
So make sure you guys follow her at Cheryl Lindberg on Instagram and follow along with her amazing story.
Enjoy.
Enjoy.
We have Cheryl Lindberg with us. We're so excited for you to be here today. She is the head of consumer engagement at REN Clean Skincare. And we're going to talk about all things influencers, skincare, just the market in general, and your career journey. So thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much, ladies. This is such a treat. I've been listening since the beginning, so this is so amazing to be on. Thank you for having me.
That's so sweet. And so I know that you got your start in fashion design at Orange Coast College. So I want to learn kind of more about where you thought your career was going to go and how you ended up in the beauty industry.
Yeah, it was a wild ride. And now that I have been having some time to think back to it, but really, when I was younger, all I wanted to be was in the fashion world. So when I graduated high school and went into college, I just knew exactly what I wanted to do. And I felt always a little bit nervous sharing that with others because I would say saying you want to be a designer is a little unconventional. And my family was pretty traditional. My dad always wanted me to be a dentist. He probably said it 1 million times when I was growing up. So having to admit that actually I am not a fan of the dentist at all. I think it's torture. So didn't go in that path, but decided to go to community college, test it out, see if this was really for me. And when I was in that program at Orange Coast, there was a class called Careers in Fashion, and you really get to go around to Orange County and LA and see all these different types of businesses and how it really works, because you didn't really get an inside look into these companies. And I knew exactly what I wanted to do. We went to this company called Harvey's. And after we left the business, I got back on the bus and I told my professor, I am going to work there one day. It is such a cool place. They make handbags here in the US. And I was just drawn to that small business, made in the USA type of environment. So I actually got a job working in their retail store that was just opening up. And I worked there in the store selling handbags. I then worked in their office doing customer service. I worked in operations. And really, when I graduated school, I was like, okay, I'm going to give myself one more year at Harvey's. And if I can't make it into the design team, I'll find something else. And at month 9, the designer left and I got to interview for a designer position. And I ended up getting the role. And really, I was 21 and I was like, oh, I've made it. This is it. I'm here. So
are you big on manifesting too? Because I feel like you put it out there into the universe and then you were able to achieve those things that you had dreamed of.
Totally. This was in 2009. I think probably no one really talked about manifesting, but I did. I said, I am going to work there, and I did it. I think I eat a lot of ambition for breakfast.
Love that. Love that.
I was just always really driven with my goals. I, really put myself out there to keep growing and keep moving forward. I think that as much as being uncomfortable in situations isn't always the first option, I always put myself in scenarios to learn more and grow more and take on more responsibility. And I think, Karen, you said this too in the first episode about being young and having so much responsibility. And you were like, how did they let me do this at such a young age?
The fact that you're quoting episodes is just like blowing my mind right now.
Oh my gosh. A star.
Well, you have to do your research.
So much. Yes.
But I felt the same exact way. I'm like, I am 21 years old. I don't know what I'm doing, but I am, you know, it's such a small business. It was myself and the founder as the design team. And, you know, of course that meant that I did most of the work, right? But it was awesome. It was such a small business. And I really feel like working at a small family-owned business, you learn so much more than you could anywhere else. I got to try everything. I designed, I worked with raw materials, I sourced vendors, I helped with sales, I went to trade shows. I did it all, you know, and they had a big business with Disney. So I was like at a seat at the table pitching design ideas. It was incredible. I mean, really, like, you can't put a value on that. And maybe I didn't finish school in a traditional sense, but I feel like I got my master's degree in business development, you know, when I was working there.
Exactly. Yeah. I think
That's
sometimes
amazing.
the best learning experience is just kind of being thrown into the deep end and having to figure things out for yourself. I know Breanna and I have both really been in that position. And that's just kind of an invaluable learning experience because you learn how to do things on your own terms and make it work.
Right. I mean, I worked there for 7 years. I did everything. And I'm so, so grateful for the opportunities. And when I decided to leave, I think I was a little too confident, to be honest with you, thinking that it would be so easy to find a job. And here's the thing, like, it wasn't. My resume was stacked, right? Like, I was doing everything and no one was taking me seriously. So I had to make this big decision where I would take a big step down. And I was like pretty much at a manager level when I left the business, and I went to a coordinator role. And I would say that's not for everyone, because even the people that were hiring me were like, you're overqualified. And I'm like, please just hire me. Like, I need to get experience. I need to move on. I need to expand into something else. And it was different. So I went from doing all these things to really focusing on product development. That was kind of where I was leading in the design team at Harvey's. I really loved the product development side. I thought it was a little bit more stable of a career choice. Like at 26, I was like, this is a stable career choice. Like, what was I thinking? But I went into the product development side, and I went to Hurley. It's a surfwear company. And I just kind of assumed, hey, I'm going to go in and I'm going to do what I always have. I'm going to take on more. I'm going to learn more. They're going to love me and let me do all the things I can. Well, that was not the case. It's definitely it's a bigger company. You know, it went from, has 150 to 200 people. You're in different buildings for like what your department is. So I didn't even see anyone in the marketing team. And really it was a big adjustment. But it was, I met such great people. I was so bored, you know, it just really wasn't the right fit. And I felt really lucky when I logged into LinkedIn and saw a message from Too Faced. And I was so like down. I was like, okay, I'm going to try this. I'm not into cosmetics as a person prior. I did not know how to fill in my eyebrows or use bronzer. I didn't even know what a highlighter was. I was really just a different person.
I love this story. I love it.
So I went in on my interview and I was like, I'm not sure what to wear. I'm not sure how to do my face. You know, it was all the things. And I fell in love there. I was transformed into this world of glitter and glam and just girl power, right? You know, the business, it was probably 100 people at the time, and felt like I was in my first sorority. Like, it was just, you know, you're thrown into this different world. And I was so thankful for the opportunity to to step into a new business and do, and I ended up on the social team. Such a coveted role, you know, to be on social media at a brand that is one of the leaders on social.
Right.
And I just fell into it. So
yeah,
it was wild.
And they were in your messages on LinkedIn, so they approached you.
Yeah, so they originally wanted me to like product develop like giftable items. So makeup bags and pens and smaller items. So that's, I think, why they were attracted to my product development background. But once I went in, like, I'm used to showing a portfolio, design ideas, and they're also hiring at that same time on the social team for our mailer boxes. So that was someone dedicated to product, you know, designing, product developing these beautiful influencer gifting, right? And that was like at the height of PR boxes. That's when they were over the top. I was designing such cool things, roller skates, you know, vanities,
So fun.
all the things. Yeah. So once I ended up on this social team, you know, it's kind of where the position fell. I fell in love with influencers. I fell in love with this world that I wasn't really aware of before. I would say, like, even in my handbags career, we would gift bloggers, very much like more traditional blogging. At that time, we were, of course, we're on social media, but not, you know, was, I think, in early days or more on Facebook than Instagram, all the things. So anyways, it was an interesting time, but I just wanted to learn more and do more. I watched so much YouTube. I took home so much Too Faced product to learn myself, and you know, it was wonderful. And they just really appreciated me, like, always raising my hand there and being like, I want to do more. How can I get more involved? And at one point, you know, 6 months into working at Too Faced, a lot of the influencer relations team left at a certain time. And I was like, I just rose my hand and I was like, hey, I would love to help, right? Just thought I would help out when they're hiring more people. And that ended up being 6 months. And then, you know, that turned into 4 years and ending up being the director of influencer relations at Too Faced.
Wow. Do you feel like that's the key to success, is just always kind of raising your hand and being like, how can I help and how can I do more?
Yeah, I think it's always going above and beyond. I think it's volunteering, you know, I think it's helping people. I think, you know, the team was in a bad position. There wasn't anyone helping or doing this role, and someone had to do it, right? So it's like, well, why not me? Why don't I try this? I think it just goes back to putting yourself into those uncomfortable situations, because it just leads to so much opportunity. And that's really what happened at Too Faced. It was just like at chance.
And you were there too when they were acquired by Estee Lauder, correct?
They were acquired right before I started.
Oh, right.
So
before.
I think they were just probably 2 months acquired when I started. So I really, I knew nothing different. But we still operated, you know, Too Faced operates individually. They do all their own thing. They run their own show. They're best in class. So
yeah, you called the company culture basically a sorority. I just want to hear more about that, like what it was like working in that office, because it seems like such a unique brand.
Yeah, well, I think it was, it's interesting because even in the handbag space, I worked with a lot of men. My boss was the founder or the owner. He was a man. You know, people on my team were men. I went to Hurley. It's a surf company. It was a lot of men as well. And so going to Too Faced, I'm like, oh my gosh, how nice. Like, these are all women. You know, everyone's so beautiful. Like, you know, it was just so different. And at first I was so intimidated because, again, I felt like I didn't have the skills of like any makeup skills to understand, you know, how to apply my foundation really well or anything like that. So at first I just kind of was kind of quiet, and I am not a quiet person. Like, I'm probably one of the loudest people, you know. So very quiet, and just like slowly started to feel so much more comfortable because everyone there was so wonderful. I was able to kind of lead my show and, you know, do the best I can. I worked directly with the founder, you know, and it just brought me so much more confidence. And it was wonderful. I mean, I have made the best friends there. It was really a hard decision to finally leave.
When I went to visit you the many times that I went to visit you,
Yeah.
I remember you always had your makeup done like so amazing and everybody had their makeup done. Like, can you kind of touch on that? Like, was that a requirement or was that just something that kind of came with the social media team and working with the influencers and your
I think,
guys's
yeah.
group?
I think I personally am the type of person that's like, I'm in it, I am in it. Like
Yeah.
my wardrobe became pink. I have
I
more
know.
sequins than I know what to do with. And
Mhm.
it was not a requirement. It's just who I am as a person that I'm like, I am fully enveloped in what this brand ethos are. I,
Right.
want to really be, a symbol here, like, do all the things, especially if I'm taking someone around the office. I always want to look my best.
Mhm.
But it was so fun too, like
Yeah.
every day was so fun, playing with so much makeup, getting to try all the new stuff. Like it
Mhm.
was awesome. And I loved it. I learned so much about makeup. I fell in love with makeup. I now am like a Sephora, high member,
Yeah.
like a VIB member, but before I never was,
I
you
love
know.
it.
I think
Mhm.
being in makeup made me spend more money on my beauty routine than ever before. Before I was just shopping at
Right.
like Target and I wasn't sure ever. It was like CoverGirl and Maybelline, and I was always intimidated by Sephora.
Mhm.
And I'm not, I mean, obviously I just didn't know about all the different brands and products. It's overwhelming, but once you understand it, it's so
Totally.
fun. So fun.
Mhm.
Oh, I know. Like Karen and I, we still nerd out over like different launches and makeup. And, I'll have like people who are not like in the industry, like maybe my family or friends being like, why are you buying more makeup? I'm going to kill you for doing that. And they're like, you get so much PR. And I'm like, no, like you don't understand. I need this. I need this. Like it's turned me
Right?
into a total monster.
I know, because I want to try everything. I want to
Hmm.
see what everyone's talking about.
Yes.
Um, and that ends up to be a lot of product. My family and friends love it because they come over and just shop all the time.
Right. Yeah.
I think it's
Same.
thanks to influencers too. I mean, a lot of
Mhm.
influencers put us on certain products and
Oh,
brands,
yeah.
and we trust their recommendations 100%. And so I
Mhm.
also just want to know too, with your extensive experience with working with influencers, and this is something we also talked about with Maram too, is like, what do you look for and what is that kind of special secret ingredient that an influencer has that signals to you like, yes, they're different and they're separating themselves among the pack since it is such a saturated space now.
Mm.
Oh, definitely. Also, I was just going to add, I am in influencer relations. I have been for years, but I am constantly being influenced. And I know it's
Mhm.
happening. I know
Mm.
that someone's selling me this product and I am all about it to try it. So I agree with you 100%. As far as what I look for, it's really just someone who loves what they're doing. I think you can really tell that through the screen. You can tell someone's passion and drive and, wanting to grow themselves. It doesn't matter the follower count. I'm not really a stickler on you have to have X amount of followers. I love just connecting with people and seeing who genuinely loves the brands that I'm working for. I love gifting people and hearing their response because it's always different, right? Like it depends on your skin type or, what kind of, makeup you enjoy. Do you love eyeshadow versus lipstick or whatever it might be? Because there's something for everyone. And I think that's the best part about beauty is that really every brand has something for everyone. And I love seeing the creativity on social media and how they're using it because I also get the best tips and tricks from people. So yeah, I just love the authenticity and creativity I'm seeing on social.
Mhm. And for PR gifting too, is it kind of a less is more approach now? Because I know like you were talking about the roller skates and
Yeah.
at like
Mhm.
in
Yeah.
2019 at the height of PR, like the packages were just getting more and more ridiculous with video screens and it was like one brand trying to top the next. Like what do you
Totally.
feel is the space right now?
I think definitely less is more. It was
Mhm.
just a moment in time where it was roller skates and over the top gifting and
Mhm.
quickly, pared that down because the response was, whoa, like as a person, as an influencer, you were receiving so much and it was just becoming too wasteful.
Mhm.
So it was, smaller is better. Let the product really speak for itself. Tailor it down. Not every single person needs 35 shades of foundation. Let's find their
Yeah.
Right.
grouping, like light,
Right.
medium, whatever it might be, just send them a few options, or if it doesn't work for them, have them tell us, right, what they want.
And
Exactly.
I also love how like you're like the queen of like really intimate experiences. Like the first time that I've had, the opportunity to have like a one-on-one where we do the HQ tour, and then you set up a beautiful like tea party at the office, and you order in lunch that is their favorite lunch. It was just so special. And I feel like I had never really experienced someone taking so much time. Like time is so valuable, and I think that it outweighs the products and all the gimmicks and all the fancy events. And I feel like you have been like, you've really spearheaded that. And that was the first time that I had ever experienced that in the industry. And I was like, this is so special. Like, what can we do to help Cheryl, and what can we do to help her brand? And it really ties the influencer to you. So it's like when I'm talking to my influencers, I'm saying, hey, REN Clean Skincare, they have this event. They tie, and also our girl Cheryl, she's at REN now, and everyone wants to do things because of you and that relationship that you've created. So what gave you like these ideas, and like what are some like ideas you're doing now with the pandemic?
Yeah, well, thank you so much.
Of
That's
course.
definitely the goal. I think for me as a person, I want to have personable relationships with people.
Mhm.
I think of everyone as my friend. So hopefully you guys think of me as your friend,
Yes.
because
Of
you guys
course.
are mine.
Fast.
So yeah, I want to have a good time with people. And I think it was super fun to make it more personalized. I think those small touches go a long way. I love event planning. I love I did a lot of the events at Two Faced and brand trips and things like that. And I always like the little details because I think they go the furthest. And just have the personalized touches, even in my friend group, I'm always the one planning the bridal showers and baby showers and all those things. So
Cute.
yeah, I just love those details, and I love, the time to connect, because really that's what this industry is about.
Right.
It's about connecting and being a part of something together. So I think that's my favorite part. And during this virtual time, it was at first really alarming because yes, I did a lot of events, a lot of things in person. I would travel a lot, so being at home, I was like,
Mhm.
I don't know what to do here. But quickly, you pivot, you learn, you get on Zoom, you learn those. Just always trying to keep it new and fresh. And now, being at REN, having these conversations to introduce myself and the brand to people has been wonderful. And doing, intimate events still in this virtual space.
Mhm.
That's just
Mhm.
where we are right now, and hopefully we'll be
Right.
out of it soon. But while we're still out all at home,
Mhm.
just keeping it in the virtual space.
Yeah, I love that because you just recently did the cocktail, the mocktail
Yeah.
PR mailer, and you sent it out, and then everybody jumped on the Zoom event, and they were able to make a
Mhm.
little mocktail and then enjoy the event, which was so special and just so unique. So
Yeah,
you're
I think
so
making it
killing it.
fun too, like we
Mhm.
had a DJ, we have someone
Mhm.
giving product education, we have someone, of a chef telling us how to make this, organic cucumber mocktail. Like it's
Mhm.
just, having these different moments is great too, because I don't want people to be bored.
Right.
I think it's hard, keeping anyone's attention, even my own. So how
Mhm.
can we do something different and try to make it fun, because again, we're all still at home, so what can we do to have fun in your day?
Mhm.
Right.
And also, how have consumers really shifted gears lately? Because, last year with the pandemic hitting, people weren't wearing makeup as much, and they really looked to skincare and particularly clean skincare. And that's really the focus for a lot of people now who are still working from home.
Yes, I think during last year I was like, okay, these are kind of, I had people on my team leave. I saw a lot of movement in the marketing space. I saw a huge demand in the marketing space. I don't know about you guys, but I think 2020 was
Mhm.
crazy.
Mhm.
And I just was, I made a list to myself, and I'm like, okay, my next move, I want it to be in skincare. I want it to be a brand that really stands for something important. And I want, you know, something bigger than maybe just influencer relations. I want to be able to do more. And that's when REN again came in my LinkedIn inbox, and was everything I wanted. You know, I personally didn't think I could have this role as head of consumer engagement. I thought that, you know, I wasn't sure what my next step was going to be. And I really wasn't looking for it until it came in LinkedIn. Highly recommend everyone getting their LinkedIn up to date and checking their messages.
That's such a great tip, because I think so many people don't utilize LinkedIn enough. I mean, that's where we find all of our employees whenever we're looking.
True.
And yeah, just the fact that, you know, you were ready for these opportunities and you had so much experience under your belt, and companies were able to see that and they reached out to you. I think that's amazing.
Yeah, and being at REN has been such a, you know, I came again thinking I came from Too Faced. I know everything about influencers, but at REN in skincare, it is a completely different game, especially with REN and their, you know, sustainable focus. So they are a clean skincare brand, and they will be a zero waste brand at the end of this year. So at the end of 2021, they will be one of the first prestige, you know, skincare brands to be zero waste. So that means everything is made from recycled materials or fully recyclable. So it was all the things I wanted. It had strong values. It was in skincare. That's what we're all loving, right? As like, this is, you know, where we're at, the future, and clean, and all the things in one.
And I think now too, with the pandemic, I mean, everyone kind of reevaluated their careers and what they want to do. And I think now more than ever, like, people want to work for companies with a strong mission statement, who aren't just, you know, another beauty brand in this space, but that actually care and are working towards kind of making the world a better place.
Oh, definitely. I think that again, that was on my list, and I didn't think I could find all those things that I wrote down, you know, in one. And that was the amazing thing about REN. And I had heard of the brand. I hadn't tried their products. So as soon as I had my first, you know, phone call, I went straight to Sephora and bought all the things so I could try it, because I can't work somewhere if I don't love the products. And they have such amazing products that work so well. So I was hooked. I was like, okay, now I'm really in this. At first I wasn't sure. I was like, I don't know, I have such an amazing job. But I was full steam ahead.
Let's talk about this too. Give us your recommendations. What do we need in our skincare routines?
Yes, because you are glowing, queen.
Thank you so much. I think the biggest, so when I was doing skincare, there was always steps I would skip because I just was lazy. I truly believe in a double cleanse. I feel like you have to use an oil first and then a cleanser to wash your face every single day. I think especially with how much makeup we're using, but also good makeup, right? Like, it's supposed to last. So you can't just wash it away in one wash. That's like my holy grail tip, is double cleanse. And then the step I would skip is the toner, the tonic. I just would go straight from cleansing to moisturizing. I wouldn't do the middle part because I was like, oh, it's fine, my skin's clean. I truly think that has completely cleared up my skin. It's the only thing that I've completely added that I wasn't doing previously. And this is the REN one, the Ready Steady Glow Daily AHA Tonic. And I think it's completely changed my skin. They do not pay me to say this. You know, I think it's wonderful. And I think that have you tried it?
Yeah, John and I both have been trying the routine. So we're using the jelly gel cleanser.
Yep.
We're using that. Then we're using the brightening eye cream, and then I do the moisturizer. But last night I did the balm, the orange balm. I didn't even want to wash my face this morning, and actually I did it. I did
the overnight recovery balm.
Yeah, I just put my makeup on the orange one.
Oh, okay, the overnight glow cream.
Yes,
dark spot.
That
so hydrating, right?
Oh, amazing. Absolutely. So I just left it on, and I was like, I'm going to just put my makeup on over it, because my skin, it smooths it. I feel like it's something smoothed out, like my acne scars for some reason, like they're less pronounced.
It targets the dark spots on your face. So this is you're supposed to see results in 7 days. So if you saw it right away, that's even better.
Yeah. I've only been using it for a few days too.
Oh,
so
good.
I know. Wow.
That's why I was like, okay, these products are so good. They work. They stand for something so meaningful. yes, I will work for you, you know, because I think we're at this point too where, you know, getting older, I can be more selective, and I want to be more selective because I don't have to, you know, take the step down to move forward in my career like I had to in my 20s. You know, I'm now at a space where I know so much more, and I have so many great connections now as well. So it's a pretty cool time.
And when should we start our anti-aging skincare regimens too?
Yes.
Yes. I think, I mean, as we all see, follow these young people on Instagram, on social media, they start so early, right? I wish I started
Teenagers
at 18.
nowadays.
I wish, because it's preventative, right? And I really believe in pro-aging, not anti-aging. You want to age gracefully. I'm
Yes.
happy with the lines that I have, you know, to show that I am mature, getting a little bit older. But if we can lessen them, that's great. So I think all about the preventative whenever you feel comfortable starting. I don't think you need it before you're 20, you know, turn 20 years old. But to each their own, whatever you feel comfortable with and whatever your skin concerns are. Because I know some people show fine lines earlier than others. But definitely now being in my 30s, I'm all about the products, the wrinkle products.
I know, and I wish I had started earlier, but it's starting to go down to my neck now, and I'm trying to prevent any wrinkles.
Oh, definitely. I'm definitely putting my moisturizer and all the serums all the way down.
Yep, totally.
And on my hands too. I try to make sure to put some moisturizer on my hands because I feel like that's an age tell, you know?
Absolutely. I've lost weight recently, and
I feel like amazing.
Oh, thank you, my friend. And I've seen my hands transform, and I'm like, what? I'm gonna have old lady hands, maybe? Because they were so like puffy and just like, and even my skin, really, even my skin has transformed, and you know, my eyes are getting hooded, and I'm seeing things on my face that I'm not really used to, and so whenever I have like any extra anything, I mean, it can even be eye cream, I'm putting it on the back of my hands.
Yeah.
So like, let's do it. Have you ever read Longevity by Karen Diaz?
I have not.
Have you heard of it? It's a book.
No.
It's her book. And I just started it. Karen's already heard this whole spiel, but it basically breaks down the art of pro-aging and you know, really embracing it. And she goes through all the different stages of her life and her mom's life where, you know, they did different, you know, beauty routines. And she talks about how you know, everybody we're living longer lives than we did back in the 20s, back in the 50s. And she kind of breaks it down and breaks down the science to it. And it's just so insightful. And I feel like that's like such a healthy way of thinking. And let's embrace this and, you know, not shame different things because of wrinkles or aging or anything like that. And really nurturing our body with good skincare and, you know, with the things that we eat. Because this is our body that we're in on this earth.
Yeah, I need to read that book. That sounds amazing. And she looks amazing. So I'll just do whatever she says.
Yeah, I know. I will too. I'll follow.
No problem. Not with, you know, fillers and plastic surgery. Like, I feel like these young girls nowadays who are, you know, really looking up to Kylie Jenner as kind of like the it girl who kind of started it all with lip fillers and just kind of looking a lot older than her age. I really feel for these like younger girls who feel just kind of that much more pressure with social media about how they should look and these kind of unnatural beauty expectations.
I mean, how do you guys feel? Like, I feel like I felt the pressure too, you know, to do all the things, but I was like, I need that Gucci belt. Like everyone has the Gucci belt. Like I need that too. And I feel like I fell victim for a while to that. But you know, I think that's just so important to remember who you are and what you want. And, you know, those things you don't need those things.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
Because I definitely have gotten the lip filler and it was so painful and I never did it again. Because again, I was like, I need this. And then I did not need that.
I mean, I'm all for doing what you want to do. And if that's going to make you happy, then absolutely go for it. But I think that like a lot of the girls just don't, you know, they feel pressured into it and they just feel like, oh, everyone else is doing this, so then I have to do this too to fit in. And that's just not the right mindset.
No,
I agree.
And I use things like that too as like a treat. Like sometimes I make like these internal goals for myself. Like if I get here with work, I'm gonna go and treat myself to some lips or something. Or, you know,
Mhm.
I've been saying for like months that I want to get some Botox up here just because I've lost so much weight that I'm getting wrinkles up here. And so I have like these different goals that I want to do. Like, okay, I'm gonna go to Hawaii first, and then afterwards I might get some Botox. Like I make like weird things like that. And it used to be like more like a purse or something.
Yeah.
And I have been like gifted like nice things, and that's kind of what got me into like even liking, you know, nice things like a nice purse. But then when, you know, the pandemic hit, it's sort of like none of that really matters, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, last year was wild. I mean, it really had me reevaluate a lot of things. And it's not like I didn't like the effects of the lip filler. It was more so the pain that I put myself through that I'm like, why did I do that? I didn't, you know, I'm fine.
Mhm.
But yes, definitely had to reevaluate and be like, okay, these material things, yes, I'd rather put it towards, you know, a home I'm buying now than try to like buy all these designer items. This is more important.
Mhm. Yeah.
Exactly. And where do you also forecast kind of the market going this year and into the future?
Yeah.
I'm sure you're just so tapped into trends, and I would just love to know like your forecast.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it's going to continue into skincare. That's where the trend has been. And
Mhm.
that's where, you know, there's so much eyes on that category right now. I think more things are leaning into being eco-friendly because that's, again, people being at home have been so in tune to what they're putting in their body, on their skin. They understand, you know, as a consumer, you're understanding ingredients so much more than you ever have, and people are really looking at that now. So I think this you know, clean green movement that REN has been championing for 20 plus years now is kind of just where you need to be in the space if you're going to start a brand or do something. I think that's just such a heavy focus on sustainability and clean. It's not a trend, I would say. It's just the way things need to be because we only have one planet and we should all be taking care of it as best we can. So I'm excited to see what other brands do. This week, actually, REN launched a collective with a total of 5 competitors, stating that, you know, in this fight to protect our planet, we are not competitors, we are allies. So we're working with our top competitors currently to help, you know, save the earth, which is really cool.
Wow.
That's
That's
amazing.
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
That is pretty
So
epic.
what about
Yeah, it's
events?
probably,
Are they going to be happening in the future?
Yeah.
I mean, I know we all live in California, so the numbers are going down for COVID, which is so great. I cannot wait to hug people, see you guys in person again. I don't really have any forecast as when we'll be eventing. I think it's just, you know, once everyone's more comfortable. I mean, that might not be until the end of this year. Hopefully something, but there's not really any plans for it just because we can't. It doesn't feel like the right time yet, but I know that people are starting to do more and more, which is exciting.
Amazing. And so, we talk so much about careers, and I just want to know, is there anyone who is a really strong mentor to you as you were just starting out? Or, I mean, even recently, who, was kind of a pivotal part in helping you succeed and grow?
Definitely. So taking it back to my Orange Coast College days, there was the department head there. Her name was Christine Amaral, and she was and still is a mentor of mine. She helped me so much kind of navigate this space that was so confusing at times. You know, she was always there encouraging me. Truly such an incredible person. I hope everyone has someone like Chris Amaral in their life, because she was just so inspiring and just, you know, again, always pushing me to do more, try more, even if I felt a little bit uncomfortable or out of my element doing so. And she helped me, you know, has been a guide for me like through all my career paths. So she's always the top of mind for me.
For your team, are you able to be kind of that point of contact too, that people can, just look up to and kind of pick your brain? And because I know this can be just a very competitive space, and we do talk about this a lot, but I feel like the beauty industry is very special in that, a lot of it is very female dominant. and you have these brands that really aren't the norm. And I mean, speaking from, just our work and what Editor Media has kind of like stood for, it's all about just collaboration and, no ego.
Yeah,
totally. I think that especially when I was in school or when I started my career, social media wasn't really a thing. It wasn't really important in any way. And now this is a career path. I think colleges are now offering courses in social media, in, does someone have an influencer course yet? I'm sure some school offers it. It's just such a wild world. So I'm more than happy. I love when people ask questions. I love, even someone on my team who is, a coordinator level, really teaching them the ropes, because it's so new still. There's so much about this world that we're all working in that's still so new, and it changes daily. There's something, is it TikTok? Are we on Clubhouse now? Okay, what's next? I'm sure there's something already else, out there that I should know about. But, just learning so much. I think that's the best part about this position too, is just it's constantly evolving, and we're all learning so much along with it, and just letting social media kind of take us on our path. And I love, working with people and training them and teaching them alongside me, because again, I can't tell them everything because it's changing so quickly. So I love, anytime anyone would love to chat, I'm more than welcome to send me a DM, send me an email, and I would love to connect.
How has the transition to working from home also been for you? Because you're all about cultivating these amazing relationships with influencers in your team. And I'm sure just it's hit certain people, particularly hard, just the people like you who just love throwing events and you love seeing everyone in person. And it's such a strong component to like what you do and your passion.
Yeah, it was definitely a transition at first. I kind of didn't know what to do with myself, being in this apartment and being at home, and I wasn't quite sure what was happening. It was overwhelming, I think, for everyone. And really just figuring it out, right? Like there was no other option than to get a desk in this, spare bedroom room that I'm in now, get a desk, get the setup put together. I remember like being on a wait list for like office chairs, because like everyone was buying office chairs and I couldn't get one. It was a transition, but I think I really enjoyed slowing down. It had been such a busy 4 years prior. I think I was on a plane at least once every other month. There was definitely I think it was 2018 or 2019. I was on a plane every single month, going somewhere, traveling for work. And it's kind of an exhausting lifestyle when you stop, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it was nice to kind of connect with your home again, connect with the people that are around you again. It was nice to slow down. And now I can't imagine kind of going back out there, but I know I'll be so excited when we do.
I love that. Yeah, it's been such a crazy year for us, and also like busier in a lot of respects, because social media just never sleeps. And so, last year when a lot of people were slowing down, we were just definitely having to ramp up.
Yes.
And pivoting, especially for us.
So much.
Pivoting is like, I think, the word for 2020, especially in social media and marketing. Right. Okay, what do we need to be talking about? What's everyone doing? What's important? What needs to be, important to everyone? Like it was just constant. So excited to see what happens the rest of this year and next year once the world starts reopening.
Exactly.
And what advice would you also give to anyone who wants to enter the beauty industry and, hopefully one day work in like social media influencer relations?
Buckle up. It's going to be a wild ride. I think that's true. And I think just, having your ear to the ground, understanding kind of what's happening in this space is so crucial. I'm currently interviewing for a position on my team right now, and I just really enjoy hearing from candidates, what's important to them, what are they doing on social, who are they following, What kind of trends are they seeing? Because everyone has such a different perspective. And I think it's so valuable to bring someone with a complete different view of mine onto my team, and can bring such another set of values. I think someone was talking about Twitch, right? It's the streaming gaming service. And I personally have no idea what it is. I mean, I've heard of it, of course, but like I'm not a gamer. I'm not in that space. So if someone can come on and teach me something, like that's incredible,
Yeah, definitely. That's what we say too. We really want to see people's, creativity. And we always say that like you are your only creative cap at our company. Like we want to see and hear from you, and we want to be collaborative. So very much likewise. And it's very refreshing to have someone come in and be able to sort of teach something new. Even if it's just a tip about, TikTok or Instagram, like we want to hear that, and we want them to, talk amongst each other and share these things with the group. So we appreciate that as well.
Right. Again, always learning, always growing in this, marketing space, social space.
And I think it's such an art too, to be a hiring manager. I don't think until you're on the other side of it that you really know how difficult it is to find amazing talent. It is such an art.
Yeah, because it's a lot of pressure on us too, right? To like find the right person that's going to bring great ideas, but also collaborate well with the team and different personalities, and everyone is so different. So it's always a kind of a gamble, but for the most part, it's been really rewarding.
Good.
And to end, on a note, we just want to know what does your morning routine look like?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So at REN, our team is in the UK. So that was kind of an adjustment for earlier mornings. I would, now I'm up at 7 typically. This is an ideal day, I'm just going to say. I've been trying to do like a 10-minute yoga stretch class. I have my, 5-minute gratitude journal. Just kind of starting my day in a positive way. I try so hard to stay off social media, or at least stay off my work emails for the first at least, hour, 30 minutes of my day. I try to be at my work desk before 8 a.m. 7:30 is ideal for me. And then, just hitting the ground running with normally meetings actually right away, because the team is 8 hours ahead. So it's been an adjustment with the time, but it's kind of nice because by about 11 a.m. everyone's off work, and that's kind of my time to get things done and organized and ready for the next day.
Do you find yourself to be a morning person or more of a night owl?
I like a midday, what do they say, a midday pigeon? That's that's more me. But no, I think I'm trying to be better about my mornings. I'm not a night owl at all. I like to be asleep by 10 p.m. I don't. So I've been trying to be better about my mornings and start in a productive way, because I noticed I, can be more on if I just take that extra 10 minutes to do a stretch or a yoga class myself, and just be in a good mindset for the day. I definitely took that gratitude journal from Jen Adkin. It was just been I feel like all over social lately. So just trying to incorporate that as well, and just start with a positive mindset.
I love that. Yeah, that's such an amazing foot to start each day on. It is just so stressful if you go straight to the phone and you're answering DMs and answering emails right away while you're still in bed, which I'm totally guilty of.
Me too.
I mean, of course I still, I do it too, but I'm trying so hard not to, because the emails will always be there.
Yeah.
I want to take that little bit of time for myself. If I can get on the Peloton even before work starts, that's wonderful. Or during lunch, just taking that time for myself so that I'm, taking care of me before I can take care of this business as well.
Yeah. Exactly. And I think it's hard too to realize that your time is so valuable. And as much as you want to get back to everyone's email in 10 minutes, it's like only you know how to prioritize that schedule. And sometimes, if people know, oh, okay, she's busy right now, she's not super accessible, it just makes you more desirable in a way.
Yeah, definitely.
And if something is super urgent, they have my cell phone number. They can call, they can text. Like they can take, I can get back to them in an hour. I can get back to them by the end of the day.
Right.
It should, and we only put these parameters on ourselves to be always on. And again, I think it's hard in the social space, in this quick moving space. But we just have to put those boundaries up. It's tough.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, thank you so much for sharing such amazing advice. We loved having you, and you're welcome back anytime. I know people will take, so much words of wisdom away from all of the amazing things that you've shared with us today.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Of course. And thank you so much for being a friend of the brand from the very beginning. I just appreciate, adore, and love you. I'm so excited for you and your engagement and your new position. You're just living your best and looking your best. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you guys so much. Hopefully we'll see each other in person soon. Can't wait.
Yes. Sounds good.
Bye, Cheryl. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
You guys so much for listening. And if you guys want to follow us, make sure you guys follow us on Instagram at
Ambition for Breakfast with the number 4 on Instagram. And you can follow me and Breanna. I'm at Written by Karen on Instagram.
And I'm at Bree Armstrong.
Thanks so much for listening.